All right, I think everything's loading up here. Looks like we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just getting my morning cardio done on my bike. Again, I already did a run, cut the run a little short because my hamstring was a little bit tight from the deadlifting, so I didn't want to push it too hard. But again, we're going to get some cardio in on the bike, get a little bit of this here. I got some meat I just put in the oven, got all that cooking. Should be good though. It can make it through the duration of this because it cooks for at least an hour. I got to check on it about the hour mark. But yeah, we had a really good coffee chat this morning. We got into everything from discussion of abuse survivors and training. We got into theoretical physics and the nature of the universe, right? We got into a bunch of whole topics. But we'll see how this cardio chat goes. We're going to cover different stuff. Obviously, we still do fitness. Just because I'm entertaining other questions doesn't obviously mean your fitness questions and lifting questions are not welcome. Of course they are. It is ultimately a fitness channel, but we're going to cover diverse topics. Just find stuff to talk about. It's all good. I'm streaming all the time anyways. Of course, you guys get all the blogs. You get the informative content. All that stuff keeps coming up, right? But I'm going to be more diverse. I'm going to talk about relevant events. What I don't care about is the fitness community. I don't care at all. I don't care what Greg Doucette does or anybody else. I just don't. Right? To me, that's all I don't care what Vegan Gains does. So if we're going to talk about current events and world events, they're going to be things of relevance. The fitness community isn't relevant to me. I don't care. And I don't think the majority of people care. Most of you who even chime in here, who are here for fitness stuff, don't care about these other people, and you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't care what they're doing. Either you follow their work or you don't. Either you like what they're saying. There's nothing to really discuss. Either you're a fan of them or you aren't. Have you seen? Yeah, it's been coming through pretty good. I've got a lot more super chats too, Prince, right? So I've gotten more donations, more money, a general uptrend in views. So yeah, it's been a positive thing. But I'm going to keep doing it. It's not allowing. I've been covering other topics too. Like I'm literally putting them in my titles. We're going to do more world events and things. It's going to be relevant, especially for those afternoon chats. All right. Why wouldn't we? I've had a bunch of life changes too that have affected my ability to do stuff a little different. So things are just different. This is not in a vacuum. This is not in a vacuum just to do with my stuff. And keep in mind, this is all my platforms. This isn't just the tubes. Everything is sent everywhere. Like I'm more active on Facebook than I am any other platform. Everything that I do here is on Facebook. This stream is going on Facebook. So just an FYI, this is multi-platform, which is why I don't care about the tubes. Like I don't care what people on this platform are doing as far as fitness people. I don't care. It's not relevant. Makes sense? I'm just not interested in the fitness community unless it ties in something really and truly important. Is it as important as the topics we've been discussing? Like, the Charlie Kirk thing. Are we at that level of importance? Then there's no need to talk about it. We already know fitness people are fake natties and scam artists. This is well understood, well known. I don't care about calling individual ones out. But I'm going to focus, as far as my fitness content, I'm going to focus on just putting out good information. I'm going to document what I do with my fitness, with my lifting, with my cardio, with my diet, what my clients do. Some of them, the ones who want to do vlogs, and discuss these topics. But it's not going to be in the context of what fitness influencers are doing. I just don't care. Unless I need to address the fact that they're promoting something dangerous like carnivore. Okay, now that might be different. But we can attack carnivore without always making it about those people, right? It doesn't need to be about those people. We can go after an idea without going after people. I mean, how's that for intelligent discussion and debate? How about we attack ideas, not people? What do you think? All right? Just can't we do that? Because I think with something like crazy like carnivore, we can attack the entire concept. Do we need to make it about one person? I mean, the entire idea is crazy. The entire idea is ludicrous and anti-science. Do I need to attack Sean Baker or Revival Fitness to do it? No, I'm not hungry yet. Why would you ask me if I've eaten? Do you not follow my channel? Prince, you're a regular in here. You follow my channel. You follow my work. Based upon what you know about what I say every day, have I eaten yet? What time do I eat breakfast? What type of intermittent fasting do I do? Right. So is it noon in Texas? So you have asked me a question to which you already know the answer. All right, old Kellen Yiller. Thoughts on how to strength train when I have mandatory PT in the morning. I'm active duty infantry, usually running circuits, calisthenics. I'm a late novice, early intermediate. You should be used to it. I've coached active duty military. So you strength train. Why does that matter? You're already conditioned to the PT, right? You already do the PT all the time. You're conditioned. You've been doing it at least 6 weeks now. Okay. Is it the same amount of workload and volume on an average week? So you're adapted to it. That means at this point, you can just run normal strength training, regular programming. You could run a 3-day full body. You could do a 4-day upper load. You could do 4-day conjugate. I've done all those for people who are active duty. You just go in and do it. That's my thoughts. You're already used to the PT, right? Just like I'm used to my running. So we just go strength train. We're adapted to it. Once you're adapted, not a big deal. Now, because you're doing all that PT, you have to be careful about junk volume with your lifting, right? Dean says, hit like, appreciate it, Dean. Thank you. Also, thank you for the ongoing support. Well, Dean, you won't have anyone to do battles with. I had to ban, what's his name? The Green Pill's been dropping the most supers lately, and he's been coming through dropping small ones over and over and over all the time. But I had to ban him for being out of line last night, unfortunately. So you can't have contests with him, unfortunately, now. Daniel Jason, I made the 175 kilogram squat. So happy. Next up will be a 4-wheel squat. Huge milestone for me. Greetings from Germany. There you go, man. Dude, you're close. You're 5 kilograms from that next wheel. Congrats on that. You got a game plan for getting to it? Old Kellen says, currently running a starting strengthish program with a little arm and delt thrown in. So is it going okay, with your PT? I mean, like, is it all balancing out? Everything good? Or are you running into some fatigue issues? Would kind of be my question, because since you're asking about it, I'm wondering if it's, so is your question triggered because you're just curious for the future, or are you currently having some struggles with it? Would be my question. Right. So is this proactive or reactive? What would be the difference between full body training for a novice and advanced lifters? You're asking me how to build a watch instead of what time it is, Marco. Progression rates, total sets, heavy sets you could recover from. There's a lot to unpack there. I mean, one of the biggest ones is going to be progression and potential maybe for overuse, but progression is going to be vastly different. You're not going to be able to progress remotely close to anything like a novice. So an advanced lifter would be lucky to make a month of novice gains in a year. I mean, I would say that would be the biggest difference. Because keep in mind, novice training is written around certain progressions. That's one of the biggest differences. It's planned progression. I don't believe that works very well for advanced lifters, as someone who coaches many and is an advanced lifter. Right? Do you start talking about how they're going to plan their progression? It's like, oh, I wish you good luck with that. Unless you just started a cycle of gear or some sort of dreamer bolt. Because keep in mind, a lot of those novice linear progressions rely upon fat gain for the leverages to even achieve the progressions. Yeah, things don't always go to plan, right? Yeah, in other words, then you're going to have a lot of suboptimal sets if you think you're going to plan it in that too. Old Yeller says, just curious for the future, I squat 2 times per week instead of 3 just to save my legs from the running. So able to add 5 pounds of workout on the big lifts. Wow, so you're still definitely in that novice phase. A lot of missed lifts, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, in the future, you're going to get to a point where you just simply can't add weights like that, Old Yeller. Your name is so confusing. No, just approach it by watching your fatigue management. But you're still able to do some type of linear progression, so you're still definitely in that novice territory for sure. Right? All of the advanced lifters are looking at that. We're always amazed at. That's why it's kind of funny when you think of Marco's question of advanced lifters are just like, well, first of all, you're not adding 5 pounds every workout. You're not adding 5 pounds every month, let alone every workout as an advanced lifter. Advanced lifters be like, my goal is to put 5 pounds on my lift this year. In this 12 months, I want to put 5 pounds. Maybe 10 pounds over the next year. I'd like to keep it for the next year, right? There's elite lifters. My goal is at the end of the year for my squat to not go down. Right? To not lose anything over the next year. It'd be like that. Once you're hitting elite numbers, man, your goals literally become like, not to lose more than 10 pounds off of my last peak on the lift. I hit 550. I don't want it to go under 540 this year. I'll be real happy with that. Oh, the struggle is real. That struggle. Dudes already know. A lot of really serious powerlifters are literally like, how do I put this? Even people I've coached, they hit PRs only at meets, and they don't even hit the same lift at all between meets. They don't even reach it again. Like they might hit whatever, a 600 squat in a competition. They don't even touch 600 again until the next meet, 6 months or a year later, because they peaked for that meet. They peaked up to it. So when you're at that elite level, that's a lot of how it goes. Squatting 265 for 5 bench, 185 press, still low 305. Yeah, so we're still kind of in that, definitely that novice range. However, that is eventually going to stall without weight gain. And not because you're not gaining muscle, but because a lot of those LP type programs are based on fat gain, leveraging that weight up. Yeah, so what's going to end up happening right now, you're good. Eventually what you're going to find is you're not going to be able to keep adding weight. You're going to need to just do challenging sets and assess progression off of something like a double progression, right? So that's the thing I would think about, Old Yeller, is you get a little stronger, realizing you might have to work more with things like double progressions instead of a linear progression, where you work with the same weight, and if you can add reps, you can add weight coming up afterwards, right? So, you're hitting that number for 5. Maybe when you can get it to 6 or 7, you put 5 pounds on to try to hit 5 again and work up. That sort of stuff is where you're going to eventually be. Like, you're going to have to earn those new improvements, because you're also not going to be able to be far from failure and still make the same progress either. So, it's a lot of even what you see me doing with some of my stuff, even those back off sets, like for the benching. It's like, okay, I was able to get 12 reps. Let's put 10 pounds on it and do 10s, and so on. All right. So you saw me do that in this last week. Like, I do the top set with 315, then I back down to 225. I managed to get 12 reps with both sets. So I went up to 235 next workout and did 10s. Hey, Prince, I'm not a running coach. Let me be clear. I do run, but I am not a running coach. But you're going to toss away the shoes. I'm going to throw them away. Why would you, I'm not going to give you advice on that. My advice of what I do is not going to apply to you unless you live in a place where you can carry it. I mean, I don't carry pepper spray. What are you talking about? Why are you dealing with aggressive stray dogs? I don't know. I don't know the laws and rules or the culture where you live. The problem is, to start barefoot running, you're going to have to scale way back. If that's the problem with the transitioning from shoes to barefoot, the transition is difficult. If you just start barefoot, there's no transition. You just immediately adapt. If you've been running with shoes and you go to barefoot, it could take you a couple of months to adapt. You're going to have to scale the running way back. Your feet are going to have to get used to it. Your stride is going to be, you're not going to run the same. Okay. You don't run the same in shoes as you do without. Your stride is going to be different. Your gait's going to be different. All right. Your feet are going to have to get used to it, the toughening up. So it's not a fun process transition, is my understanding. That's why when I started running again, I just started barefoot and stayed barefoot. I haven't run in over 20 years. I just jumped in all in barefoot. So it only took me a week or two to adapt. But if you've already built up a technique and a gait, and your feet and stuff are not used to it, the feet and ankles are going to be like, oh my God. Your calves are going to be like, oh my God. It's easier on knees and stuff like that, but man, your calves better be ready. All right. Surprised we've had no face. We got viewers on Facebook, but no comments yet. Sometimes they get 1,000 views after. It's really weird. Maybe we'll get a 5-finger beams. You could try that. Yeah, the skin take a little time to adapt. My feet are pretty tough at this point. I got leather feet on the bottom, but it takes a minute. But keep in mind, been barefoot. I've already built up my ankle strength because I squat and deadlift barefoot. You guys saw me do a 500 squat barefoot this year. So I've already built a lot of that up. Keeping in mind, lifting barefoot has benefits. Thoughts on adding power clean for someone in the military, worth it or not? Used to do them in football and coordinate them. No, okay. You already have experience with them from sports. I think they could be useful. You said you're infantry. Yeah, developing a little bit of power on some power cleans wouldn't be a bad thing at all. Right? In the event you have to get into hand-to-hand. Wouldn't be bad. It's just part of your overall preparedness. It's interesting. Most of the infantry guys I knew personally, keep in mind, because of my cousin and everything else, all of them were spec ops. So they were all like really into BJJ, including my cousin. Like they all were super serious at BJJ. The whole group of his friends. Of course, he passed away a couple years ago. But I got to see him. I was one of the last people to see him before he passed. But yeah. So again, some power cleans might help you if you have to get into hand-to-hand. Right? It wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know how much you specialize in different stuff with that, if you're a personal thing. Some guys take that way more serious than others. Obviously, you have to have some of it. Did you mess up one toe this one time now? Yeah, I kicked a edge of a sidewalk. I was bleeding everywhere. Yeah, I ripped the tip of my toe cut off. So I showed you guys on the camera, like my leg, I had blood all the way up both ankles. It was a few weeks ago. And you know why it happened? I looked down to read a long question, and I was transitioning over to a sidewalk, and so I don't read the long questions at all in the running one. That's how I'm not bothered. I'm not doing this. That's how I get hurt, because I'm not paying attention to where I'm running. Any thoughts on new age influencers on TikTok saying deadlifts are terrible for your back with the risk, the reward? They're clowns. What do you mean the risk to reward? Deadlifts are not that dangerous. Why are you not building your back up? Deadlifts will build your back to keep you safe for life, as Jack LaLanne pointed out. They're lazy. These people are lazy and weak. So why would you listen to Sam? Like, I want to be serious. Sam Sulek does a lot of ego lifting. He's a very young, inexperienced guy who went on insane amounts of drugs at a young age to build his body. Okay. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm not saying he's an unlikable person. This is not a judgment of his character as a human being in any way. Why would you get lifting advice from a young, inexperienced guy who very early in his training, at a very young and inexperienced age, went on insane amounts of anabolics and insulin to get massive? Who uses a lot of ego lifting in bad form. So why would you care? So why would you listen to someone who, if you not watched him train, he's going to get hurt? So why are we taking this seriously? He's not a coach. He doesn't train people for a living. How many workouts? None. I haven't lifted today. So we did a run and then we're on the bike. So this is a cardio day. I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, Michael's on both platforms. Oh, Luke, I didn't even see you in here. Sorry, guys. Let me answer both these questions. So Luke first on Facebook, I heard a guy today who was deadlifting around 300 kilograms giving advice. He was saying that you should limit effective sets infrequently to do a lot of submaximal trainings and only for higher volumes. No, that's just a different approach, Luke. Luke, I've programmed that way, and I think that is a viable approach. But I also think doing a fair amount of pretty hard non-submaximal sets, as long as they're limited in volume, work really good on the deadlift. I've done both approaches, and I like both. So I've done like 10 triples with a weight I could do 5 or 6 reps with. Like I've done stuff like that even on deficit work in the past. It's totally viable. It's also the same idea with speed work. Okay. But yeah, generally what he's talking about is usually for very, very strong lifters. Like I don't think the more novice lifter is going to benefit from that to the same degree as a guy who deadlifts over 600 pounds. Okay. So there's your context for that. Michael, since you asked this in both questions, let me get to you now. I recently watched a guest on a fitness podcast get asked, if you had to prescribe the absolute minimum for everyone, what would it be and how often should they do it? What are we talking about? Lifting? I don't think you're going to get by with less than 2 workouts a week. I think the absolute minimum I would give would be about 3 sets of muscle group, off of just big movements twice a week, like 2 full bodies. I would say that's your bare minimum. So example, right? The example, you could do bench press twice a week. So bench press and squat, maybe a row or a pull up, and then something for the posterior chain. Like at least those 4 movement patterns done twice a week. That's really your minimums. Okay. I think that's bare minimum effective volume for people. Ziz Brown, what are most of your subscribers? I have no way to know. I get a lot of advanced to elite. So Ziz, I have tons of followers and subscribers who are elite lifters. I have plenty who are advanced lifters. I don't know novice versus advanced. I have no way to gather data. However, I would say, and I've had plenty of followers come in and say, as a general rule, compared to most people in the industry, I probably have a larger percentage of advanced to elite followers than average by a pretty big metric. All right. Oh, Lars, that's a great way, but it's only going to be people who see the community tab. It's not going to be my followers as a whole. But that's a good idea. And I think I could put that up as a poll today. That would be bad. Luke says, cheers, thought it was advanced. Yeah, I would agree. That's generally advanced advice. You know, in other words, telling a dude to come in and do sets with 315 that way, you know, usually to take advice like that, for it to be useful programming, really, Luke, is 500 plus pound deadlifter. So 230 plus on kilograms would be to even necessarily benefit from that approach versus just doing a couple of hard sets a week. I have totally trained, and I have literally trained as even while putting out content on my deadlifts in the way you just described them. And it is viable. Margaret says, why do people fear monger deadlifts and statistically? That's right. Yep. And most deadlift injuries are completely form related. Now, when we're talking doing single reps, not work sets where you're bouncing, does anyone realize that even deadlift injuries in the back are very, 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 very rare? Most back injuries on the deadlift are from bouncing the weight between reps. So where do we see the injuries? Bicep tears from bending the elbow. And it's not just the mixed grip. It happens with straps, double overhand. Hamstrings, hamstring pulls. Yeah, but you're right. Statistically, it's the least injury lift. Number of sets of deadlifts you recommend for most novices a week? 1 set every other workout, or at most 1 set a workout. But 1 to 3 sets a week. Perfectly viable. Coach, what exercises would be beneficial if I can't keep upright during the high bar squats? Good morning. Is doing squats. I need to see your form, Lars. Can you upload the video? So we probably need to actually see it, because I don't know if we're dealing with an upper back or quad weakness. So I need to see what's happening. And if it's upper back, is it a weakness or is it a tightness issue up top? So yeah, I need to see some video footage, honestly. What's your current body? I don't know. Is this bra? What do you think it is? Eyeball it. You see me shirtless every day. I'm not good at estimating that, but when people guess it really high, I'm like, well, then I've lost a lot of muscle since my last DEXA scan. Even though I'm stronger on some lifts. Yeah. 6 years ago, I was 217 at 17% body fat. I'm 8 pounds lighter right now than that, but slightly stronger on average. My upper body is significantly stronger. How to avoid drinking on Thanksgiving and Christmas? Don't drink. That's how you avoid it. Don't put it in your mouth. And if you're trying to not drink, then you need to tell your family you're trying to be sober and to ask them to please not offer you alcohol. Be preemptive with that. If you're struggling with sobriety and your family cannot honor that, you need to not show up. 10 to 13? I don't know about 10. There's no way I'm 10. No. I don't know, though. I don't know where I'm at. I'm definitely not 10%. Who knows? I don't even care, honestly. I'm not that worried about figuring out the percent, really. Yeah. Sir Maz, why am I more qualified? I'm an actual coach who gives people results and have never done 5 grams of gear with insulin. Sir Maz, it's very straightforward. Sam does not have experience. He is his size off of enormous amounts of drugs in a short period of time. I don't think he's even qualified to give drug advice because we've seen health side effects already appear. And I'm not saying that to be mean or hateful. I'm simply giving you the reality. Sam is purely a product of drugs, not knowledge. Keep in mind, even his diet was really bad and unhealthy. So I actually coach people. My people get results. I coach for a living. I have decades of experience. So I think it's pretty straightforward. James says, I struggled hard to get sober for a couple of weeks, then relapse. Have you considered getting to a program? Right? Right. I mean, they've seen some of my clients. I have clients with way better physiques than me. I've had clients with stronger lifts than me. Good point, Dean. So I've had clients who squat over 600. I've had clients who deadlift 700 plus. You've seen them on camera. I have had clients I've put up on clips before benching over 400 pounds. At least one of those clients had abs while doing it. So I think that speaks for itself. So James, you may want to look into a program. What is the cure for cost? I have no idea, dude. I'm not a medical doctor. So I'm a fitness person. I'm a strength coach. I am not a medical doctor. So that sounds like a medical question. It's on Facebook. I'm trying your little meal idea of mixing brown rice with sweet potatoes. Yeah, it works. What's the sweet spot for body fat percentage for aesthetics and performance? Can you have 10? Yeah, you can perform great at 10%. What's up, Kenshiro? Now, I think 10% is a good place, but do you need to know your percentage? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to pay for DEXA scans all the time to know that you're 10%? That's going to get expensive. Like, dudes want to know their body fat percentage in the year. It's going to cost you money. If you want to know your body fat percentage year round, be prepared for $100 DEXA scans several times a year and taking the time to go do them and set them up. Like, otherwise, don't worry about it. You don't have a way to measure it. James says boredom and sobriety What do you mean boredom? You don't get bored. His boss says he wants to have visible abs currently. Well, just keep cutting. Yeah, so at this point, don't worry then about the percentage. Just get leaner, homeskill it. Just get leaner, bro. Why were the likes only so low? Why do we have this many views and comments and only 4 likes? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. I literally have more likes on the Facebook than I do. Come on, guys. Hit that like button. Come on, hit that like button for me. Get those up there. What are y'all doing? James, what do you mean boredom and sobriety? Well, you need to go have other interests that don't involve getting drunk and hanging out with drunk people. I mean, boredom, find other things that are fulfilling besides partying, right? You said a few times you can maintain the same body fat. No, I didn't. What? I'm not sure where you got that term. You mean body weight? I don't understand what you're asking me. What are your hobbies? I mean, my fitness stuff, um, guitar, so on, right? Sleeping. No, I can't grow it out too far, dude. I have psoriasis. I'm not going to get much longer than this. Other than getting enough protein, what other tips to limit strength loss during a cut? Quality nutrition in general, keeping whole foods in, high quality foods, lots of antioxidants. Getting plenty of sleep, stress management, right? I mean, lack of sleep kills muscle growth. Like losing sleep costs everybody muscle, not even just lifters, even non-lifters. What do you mean, how bad? I don't know how to answer the question. So you can go research if you really, really want to know about my Meniere's. Research burnout phase Meniere's disease, and that will tell you. You can go read on it for hours. Um, you know. Okay, so you're changing what I said, no sugar. So you said so. This right? Yeah, you can lean gain. Right. So you're kind of rewording it. I was trying to figure out why you were trying to stay the same. Like as a goal, you're like, I want to keep my body fat the same. You know, I was trying to understand where you were going with that. So yes, you can lean gain. Absolutely. Right. I mean, James, my Meniere's is pretty bad. I mean, do I get drop attacks anymore? No, but I mean, I have burnout phase Meniere's. I feel like you're a troll at this point, James. Like, yeah, you're definitely just a troll account. I thought you really want to help with your sobriety, but you're just a troll. Let me go check the channel. Yeah, you made your thing today. Exactly. You ever done any martial arts? Growing up, yes. Why would you have a hard time with balance? Kinshiro, what do you mean? Why would I have a hard time with balance? I don't have a sense of balance. The organs that we use for our balance mind are destroyed. They're scar tissue, according to an MRI. So autoimmune related response to my Meniere's has damaged them beyond function. You do know your balance is not just a mystical magical thing. It is literally controlled by organs inside your skull. Mine are damaged beyond repair. What's your favorite season of the year? Winter, summer, spring? I don't know. I guess autumn. Yeah, I think autumn is probably the best, given where I live. Right? When was the last time you traveled to Europe? You saw me there. The last time I was in Europe, you literally saw me upload that, hey, I'm moving and leaving. And like the day before, or 2 days before, I flew back to Texas. It's been over a decade. And my passport is expired with no intention of renewing it. See, the haze winter is depressing. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I feel like I'm done with my world travels. Why not visit? Why would I want to? Why? What interest would I have in that? Why would I want to spend the time and money to go do that? Keep in mind, I also coach full time. Go taking a week off to do something like that would pretty much destroy my business. My business would be destroyed. I can't just take a week off from coaching. I have clients who pay me. So basically, I would just need to cancel everyone's membership, all my income. Right. I run a full-time coaching business, dude, so I pay my bills. So no, that's a good. So there's a great answer. Why don't I go for a week-long travel to a foreign land? Well, literally, that would bankrupt me. I have a coaching business to run. So unless I'm ready to retire, then not really an option. So I'm not doing that. Right. Plus, it would be boring. Like, what would be the point? Like, why would I want to do it? It doesn't even sound fun. All right. Have you ever considered also doing personal training? Hey, Kenshiro, I don't discuss any future plans or business in public. What's the best way to have other people interfere with your business and plans? Tell people about it, right? Yeah, no, this problem. Not interested. No, it would interfere with my business. Not even something I would think about. So I'm not willing to destroy my business to go visit another land. I'm not interested. I've already seen other cultures. I've done stuff. Not interested in traveling. I can tell you right now, if I just retire from my business and had $1 million, I still probably wouldn't be interested. I go do fun stuff I want to do here. Just my opinion. I mean, if you're asking, I'll let you know how uninteresting it is to me. But you wanted an honest answer. I gave you an honest answer. So I'm definitely not willing to destroy my business and ruin my income to do something I probably really wouldn't be interested in doing, even if I was wealthy. You know. But as far as your other question, Kenshiro, no, I don't discuss what I've considered or would do or wouldn't do with business, because again, people can interfere with your plans if they know what your plans are. You know. I don't need to collab with anyone. I mean, I like Chris. We get along. We're good. But I'm still interested in collabing. I don't care about the fitness community. I just don't care. I'm doing my own thing. Yeah, Chris is still around. Yeah, no, he's still around, guys. Haters and fans, hit like, tell them, man. Yeah, this has been a slow stream. I think the one this afternoon, the morning one was pretty solid. So I'll do a nice long. I think we'll do a real solid one. Try to do a really solid one for the sit down this afternoon. Probably going to wind this down. I feel like 45 minutes is enough for today. I got to check on all my food cooking. So let me shut down the Facebook. All right. So love to talk to you next time we're out.